What is good, guys and gals, and welcome to the Films and Pixels podcast, episode 45. I am your host, Afif, and thank you for being patient with me for the first episode in the year 2024. Happy belated New Year to all of my subscribers and viewers, close fans, and if I have any of them. But anyway, thank you for those some of you who are supporters, have been patient with me. Thank you so much. It's just that for like the month of December, I had a 1 week wedding celebration, very special occasion, and plus I decided maybe like take the rest of December off for the holiday season for Christmas and New Year's. And plus it was just kind of hard to juggle the schedule and maybe find a way. So it's my work schedule, so it's gonna be somewhat of adjustment, maybe to find different day, different time to record again, but somehow, some way I'll figure things out, so it's no big problem. But I just need some time to figure things out in terms of scheduling, recording. But I can always find time for editing and so forth, especially for sound in the video, and then upload whenever I can at a later date. But yeah, in terms of topics, I'm gonna be honest, I did have some topics, and then I thought, well, some time has passed for maybe some of them, so I was going to talk about how Sam Altman was already back as OpenAI CEO very quickly, like 4 days after being fired. But I mean, I just had I found an article, I kind of like copy paste and just like had some notes about it. But to really quickly summarize, I thought it was really it's unprecedented how, change in leadership, happens so quickly. It seems like board members of OpenAI, there were changes in board members, like 2 or 4 new people, and they must have come into agreement to bring Sam Altman back and keep their relationship with Microsoft, with Satya Nadella. So it seems like some changes were there in terms of, those who are chairman and the leadership over there between OpenAI and Microsoft. Satya is still Microsoft's CEO, but regarding OpenAI, seems like things shuffled back and forth very quickly. So that's why I thought something was really weird. But yeah, I do want to talk about, Mark Cuban. I know like he's been making some decision moves. I want to just talk about that for a bit. And something I've been thinking about, like the state of cinema in the year 2023, and plus a couple of big video game IPs being adapted into movies and TV. So yeah, I just want to share my thoughts quickly on those topics. And yeah, I hope you're going to stick by me, because from here on out, let's get going for episode 45 of the Films and Pixels podcast. So I want to talk about the state of cinema in the year 2023. And I've got to be honest, this is really the first year I'm genuinely concerned about blockbuster movies and the state of movie theaters going forward. It's a bit of a concern for me. I mean, just noticing how there weren't really a lot of billion-dollar movies, and this is actually the first year Disney were defeated in the box office. They've been always dominant with their Marvels and the Pixars and their animation films and some remakes and so forth, and the Star Wars. So I mean, it's good that there's other movies doing better, but it's a bit of a concern. Although, without a doubt, the highlight of the year was the whole Oppenheimer social media hype that came with both of those movies when they were released on the same day during the summer, July 21. And of course, a lot of people flocked to both of those movies in the same day. And then maybe like watching both at the same time in one day, and then maybe one day for Oppenheimer and another day for Barbie. And as someone who's watched them both, although not in the same day, they were worth the time and money. So I really liked both of those movies. I favor Oppenheimer a bit more. But regarding Barbie, I was pleasantly surprised just how much I enjoyed it a lot. But a lot of the blockbusters also just not entirely great throughout the year, like not doing well commercially, maybe critically as well. You know what I mean? I mean, there was that Fast X movie. I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't really loved, I mean, Animation was okay. I mean, man, what's that other Pixar movie? I know Tala. Oh man, no. I'll figure it out later. But the Super Mario movies, Super Mario Brothers movie was a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, and that was that Pixar's movie in 2023. It was a nice film, but it took some time to pick up steam in the box office. Oh, the latest Mission Impossible. That was a great film. That was actually exciting. So I like that. That was actually a very good movie in the cinemas actually. But man, you know what? I If there's one thing that went wrong in 2023, it's really the superhero comic book movies subgenre. I mean, superhero movies in 2023 just really did not do well overall. So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, 2023 started with that movie. That was a disappointment. It did not do well critically, financially. The movie was fine for me, but I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites, nor is it a great movie. Okay? I just got the chance to see Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Again, fine. It's just entertainment, nothing memorable or exciting. So that's a big thumbs down. Although I'll give credit to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It was actually pretty good. I mean, we've been waiting for Volume 3. We're glad all the behind the scenes controversy with James Gunn and Disney and the cast members, publishing an open letter to bringing him back, and then trying to find different directors and maybe different writers, and one of the actors threatening to leave production if James Gunn is not there. So it's a good thing in the end it all came together, and now he finally moved on to establishing the DCU with Superman Legacy for 2025. So all in well there for James Gunn. So Volume 3, solid movie. Probably one of the highlights of Phase 5, actually a good movie for 2023. And look, I'm going to admit I've yet to see the rest of the DC comic book movies like The Flash, Blue Beetle. I know that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom just came out recently, so I got to watch that one. Ironically, I've yet to see the Marvels, but I mean, it seemed like the critics' reception was fine, good, not great, but it was like, hey, good enough, it's fine. But I mean, like, the theatrical run was like very short. It actually became the lowest grossing MCU film in the history of the franchise, which is mind-boggling. It is insane. It must say a lot about maybe franchise fatigue, maybe lack of excitement, maybe lack of marketing. Maybe it was a disappointing movie. Maybe Rotten Tomato critics, Metacritic reviews, maybe scared them away. One reason or another, I don't know. Maybe not everyone loved the previous Captain Marvel movie, and the Marvels maybe didn't do it for them, especially maybe like some of the people didn't watch WandaVision and Miss Marvel Disney Plus TV shows. Maybe that has to be it, but 2023 overall for superhero movies did not do it. Not a great year. That was probably the first year where we can legitimately seriously talk about superhero fatigue. So that is a serious problem. Will it continue in 2024? I'm going to say maybe, but I mean, we need to see excitement again, I mean, there's so much creativity you do in that kind of genre, so. Oh yeah, another big IP movie I know came out, but like, I might see it just because I like this actor. There was a new Indiana Jones film. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Maybe not a lot of critics liked it. I mean, it was in the cinema for a while, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was there, so. There were still some big blockbusters, Even there was that Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I'll catch that soon as well, Oh yeah, now just click the name of the Pixar movie, Elemental. There it is. I was like trying to find the name, Elemental. I gotta watch that one as well. Actually, wait a minute. No, I did already see Elemental. Although Wish, no, I didn't catch it. Some people thought it was just a generic, formulaic sort of Disney film, but not a terrible one. The 100th anniversary. It was like that. Wish was sort of like a celebration of Disney 100. So, cool and all. I kind of did a mixture of like, still a 3D looking movie, but you could tell the drawings weren't 2D. Like, sort of a unique animation there. So, I mean, it was a good December. It seems like it was I mean, actually, I didn't watch it yet, but like, hey, I mean, it was nice that there was a Disney movie around the holiday season, but cinema 2024, it's got to be better. But I am excited about a few things. I think there's a second Godzilla King Kong movie. I think there's like a team up. I think like sort of a unique. Also, remind me again, wasn't there like a Godzilla -1? Was it like on streaming something? Apple TV Plus or something? I keep remembering there's like a Godzilla movie, a recent one, but ended up being so much better and so good. Maybe like for streaming or something. Speaking of streaming, it seemed like streaming film movies, for better or worse, dominant once more. Some generic awful movies, even if they're actual ones, just dumped into platforms like other than just Netflix. You know what I mean? Like those services as well. But still a lot of solid, very good, like watchable cinema like movies, from the streaming services. So, it's a tough competition between going to the movie theater and then having your own home movie theater with the services intact. So, you know what I mean? It's, some movies are like, okay, we're going to, for the public in the cinema, and then no, at home instead, because maybe it won't make enough money box office wise. So maybe that's it, I think. But yeah, I mean, a movie I remember that was delayed for I'm looking forward to it in 2024. Dune Part 2. I need to see Dune Part 2. I want Dune Part 2. I'm looking forward to Dune Part 2. I know that is the one movie I'm seriously looking forward to, excuse me. I'm definitely excited for Dune Part 2. So yeah, I am hoping that box office numbers for a lot of major movies in 2024 are better than 2023, because I don't know if it was just post COVID-19 pandemic, but it was just kind of like really concerning to watch, to be honest with you. Okay, so the final topic I do want to talk about, a couple of big gaming IPs are sort of getting like the cinema treatment, the filmmaking treatment, if you know what I mean. First, there was breaking news about The Legend of Zelda now getting a live action movie at some point in the future, which is surprising. I mean, off the heels of the Super Mario Brothers movie really becoming a very successful animated movie, and as someone who's seen it recently, I thought it was a very nice movie. It was good. It was decent. It did a lot of what it should do, and I liked how there were callbacks to like Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart as well. It was actually a lot of fun to watch. So I really liked that animated movie. It was definitely better than the live action one, but let me just be honest here. I definitely did not see the live action movie when it was like, what, 80s or 90s? And I still don't plan to do so, but very enjoyable. And Chris Pratt actually did well as Super Mario. I mean, it may not have been everyone's choice, but he actually did really well on the role. Now, regarding the Zelda movie, again, no information about casting or location of the shoot or production or who will play what or the characters. We can assume that Link, Zelda, Ganondorf are going to be part of the movie. Of course they are, these characters, but the cast members, nothing has really been announced. Well, I still think it's somewhat surprising, since there's going to be more investment from Nintendo lending their IP to more animation studios or for live action studios, production teams, doing more work on their IP and making it successful. I don't know if they're trying to be like Disney in a way, but I mean, hey, trying to venture off more for Nintendo, I suppose. So that's going to be interesting to see what Nintendo will do with the Legend of Zelda live action movie IP. Now, another one, Fallout. Later this year, I think on April 12th, the Fallout TV show will start streaming on Amazon Prime Video. There was first there was like what looked like a leaked trailer or something, but then later on an official trailer did come out. And of course, some of the well-known factions and characters, like, mysterious characters coming out of their vault with the blue suits or whatever, going off on a post-apocalyptic adventure, and like noseless ghouls, and of course the Brotherhood of Steel. We saw them as well, part of it. Let's see. I know there's more, of course, like, flashes of like this ghoul, like some sort of ghoul character, flashes of like past life, when he was a father and obviously had a nose before there was a nuke and so forth. And of course, like main characters like surface dwellers and Brotherhood of Shield soldiers. I do think one of the actors included will be like, like Ella Purnell from Yellow Jackets, uh, Aaron Moten, and Kyle McLachlan. Anyway, known as the Overseer Hank or Overseer Revolt. And yeah, apparently Todd Howard. So everyone knows Todd Howard, Bethesda guy, who, of course he's going to have some involvement with the TV show. Obviously the same universe as the game and will be canon in some way, so that's pretty cool. So he gave a variety of details about like how like some of the elements of the game will be added into the show, and like so it'll so how someone's work is being translated in some ways into television, how it is viewed from a game instead of television. So that's pretty cool to see. And yeah, some images were like leaked online. You could see like the Brotherhood of Steel, the what's it called, the Letterman or something like that. I know there were like some factions, Scientist Guy, like I was saying, new ghouls, overseers, surface dwellers coming out of the vault after like decades or something, centuries probably, post-apocalyptic life. So it's gonna be like a show like set 219 years after nukes were dropped, from and everyone moving on from Fallout. And so I think that's an interesting premise, because I thought I think it's kind of interesting to have the kind of show, people kind of learning how to live and move on in their own lives, survivors trying to just not just like accommodate but adjust to post-apocalyptic life, the kind of robots, the kind of creepy strangers who's trying to kill them. Of course there's going to be plenty of action scenes. I think the whole premise of Fallout, I think, can translate well into television, just because a lot of characters always have stories to tell. Now look, keep in mind, thus far only Fallout 4 is the only one I've played. And the funny thing is, the other Fallout games like 1, 2, 3, and New Vegas, Epic Games gave them away for free, and of course I claimed them. So I'm really glad I got the other Fallout games. I'm going to play them at some point soon. I think now would be a great time to at least play Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Just to see what it's like with the factions and like clans having wars with each other, claiming territory, and someone trying to look for their parents, or because I know like Fallout 4, like the main character looking for their son, and I think the third one, a different character looking for their father or something like that. And New Vegas, I know, was like about a courier getting attacked by mobsters or something. But I know that the first two games were like isometric kind of games. But anyway, I think it'll do well. I mean, like I would say mixed results in terms of games being translated into TV shows. Halo, sort of mixed reaction. A lot of the scenes with Master Chief with his helmet off, especially that sex scene he had, I think, in the 8th episode. There was another show. Oh yeah, the Twisted Metal show on Peacock. That did well. I didn't love it, but it was fine for what it was. And there is going to be a second season as well. So I guess that's fine. I think there must have been something else that might have turned into a movie or show. I know that there was a Mortal Kombat movie. But as for a TV show, no, I don't remember. But there is a Gran Turismo movie that came out last summer. But yeah, there were announcements about God of War and Horizon becoming TV shows. I think one of them on Amazon Prime and maybe another one on Netflix. So seems like, again, Sony investing in turning their gaming IPs into shows. But let me say this regarding Fallout. If Fallout really does well, and I am optimistic just because I think the world of Fallout does have interesting stories to tell and can really be entertaining. I would not be surprised if there's actually going to be a show around the Elder Scrolls series. I think it would work well. I think if you have the world of, if maybe like based off Oblivion game, I would say Skyrim, since Skyrim is obviously the most obvious popular one. If based, at least based off of Skyrim, oh man, can you imagine the hype and excitement? I mean, Skyrim is still well played. It's still one of everyone's favorite RPGs of all time, and it's still one of the greats, Skyrim. So I can really see Fallout doing really well. And again, if that does happen, look for the Elder Scrolls IP to also be translated into a TV show as well. All right, guys and gals, thank you so much for tuning in to the Films and Pixels podcast, episode 45. I realize this has been long overdue. And again, let me just say, I will try to find some way, somehow, to record again more consistently. Timing for me has sort of been jumbled around, if you know what I mean. But I will find a way, like everyone says, when there's a will, there's a way. So, I'm going to try to make sure I'm more consistent again, because, this podcast is still important to me. It's not just good practice, but also, yes, I do need to do better with social media promotion, but that can be easily done. I just, again, need to make sure I have the will so that there's the way. If there's a will, there's a way. So I got to do better on that. But again, for those that were watching and tuning in from beginning to end, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And again, if you have not subscribed before, please do so. Comment on your thoughts and opinions. I really would appreciate it. Share it amongst your friends and family members. It really helps me a lot. Thank you so much. And this was your host Afif for the Films and Pixels podcast. Good day and good night.